Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to do a follow-up to the Hornet and Viper nighttime video that I did. Now when I did that video, I solely relied on what was turned on by default when you jump into the mission. I didn't go looking for any dials or switches. I didn't try turning anything on or off or making anything any brighter. I just wanted to show you what it looked like when you jumped in there by default in a nighttime moonlit mission, and this is what's turned on. Kind of the, what you see is what you get experience. So since then, a couple viewers were kind enough to point out that there are a couple other options that I didn't go over, so I wanted to go over those now. So I took a look at the Viper again and showed you what the options were in it for manipulating the lighting within the cockpit and externally both. So now we're going to take a look at the Hornet and what we can do in the cockpit there. So by default, this dial was turned pretty much off, and this is all we had. Doesn't really look all that cool. It looks okay, but it doesn't really look all that cool. So we come over to here to this right panel, and where to go now? Let me zoom in a little bit. And we are looking for the flood dial. I'm going to turn this with my mouse, and all of a sudden, we have light. Turn up those panels, turn up the consoles. Not sure what these ones will do. But now, it's a completely different picture in the cockpit. And it actually looks amazing. So I didn't mean to mislead anybody. I really just looked at what we had and what was happening when you start the mission, and that's what it was. I never really mess with too many dials and buttons in the cockpit when it comes to doing anything other than dropping bombs, shooting rockets, missiles, manipulating the guns and different modes for ACM modes, etc. So this is my first time really messing around with some of the internals in the cockpit here, because most of the missions I fly are daytime anyway. But it's nice to know that, you can go in here and, I've always known that we had the ability to do this, but again, it just wasn't something I messed with all too much. So that makes a considerable difference in the cockpit. Holy shit, like it's day and night compared to what we had before, and I take back what I said. The Hornet looks fantastic, and I said the F-16 looks like the second best in DCS. Ooh, it's close now after seeing this. It really is. Very, very impressive details. Did not expect this. I really didn't. So, in the F-16, we would look to the left panel for our external lights. So let's see if I can find something over here that has something to do with my external lighting. And I'm really not seeing anything. External tanks, probe extend. What do we have over here behind the throttle? Yeah, not quite sure. Oh wait, lights. Hold on. Landing and taxi lights. Let's turn those on. And I think that's all I got for lights though. I don't think this looks any different than what it did last time in terms of external lighting. Let's go back in there and I'm going to turn that off and see if that makes a difference. I don't think it makes a difference. Unless there's maybe one or two lights more that I'm missing. Maybe there's one more under the wing that wasn't on before? Nope, they're all on. So I don't know what that does. But I am very impressed that you can see over your shoulder and see all the lights in the cockpit. Yeah, that's something you just ain't got in the F-16 yet. And I hope that's something that ends up being included in the F-16, because that is super cool. So again, if I missed something this time, I apologize. But when it comes to, you know, lighting and some of the odds and ends in the cockpit, I really pay no attention to that most of the time. I care more about just flying a mission and, you know, deploying weapons and shooting things and flying around. My level of give a shit about starting up a plane and, you know, landing it and then shutting it down is pretty freaking low in the overall scheme of things. And that's just me. I appreciate that others really enjoy that kind of thing, and that's what makes DCS cool, because, you know, you can do it your way. You know, you don't have to do all that stuff if you don't want to. And again, I do find that the Hornet, man, it might be a tie with this and the F-16. This is just a lot lighter, though. I like all the green in the cockpit of the F-16, I think, a little bit better. But this does look amazing. Like, holy shit, does that look amazing. Far more impressed than what I was before. But again, my aim before was, hey, this is what it looks like when you jump in the air and start the mission. And all I did was add these planes to this map, which is the same map and the same mission that I used to show off the Tomcat and the Viggen, to show you guys, hey, this is what it looks like if you jump in there and start the mission at, you know, whatever time of day this is, with a, you know, a moonlit mission. But this is 2.5.6.50XXX, whatever that last few numbers are, in the last open beta update that was pushed on the 17th of June, I believe. So this is where we stand right now in the open beta. We're not going to see another open beta update until July 15th, I believe, is what they were talking about. So, but I think this is a more realistic view of what you can expect. And I just wanted to show you guys that after a couple viewers were kind enough to enlighten me as to I missed a couple dials. And again, I really wasn't looking for them. I was just comparing what you get when you jump in there. So, not bad though. Kind of glad I found these dials, because everything does look considerably better. Absolutely outstanding. Like, wow, is that amazing. And the Viper's impressive too. So I hope that sheds light on how cool nighttime missions can be now under the 2.5.6 umbrella of lighting fixes and improvements.
Altitude.
I think they've made a fantastic impact on DCS World all around. Not just nighttime, but in daytime too. The lighting effects are definitely better. A marked improvement indeed. I must admit, it almost seems a little more distracting having it that bright. So you'll have to play with it. Hey, look at this. I got a little bit more light down there too that I didn't see before.
Altitude. Altitude.
Brighten it up a little bit more. How about that? And the floods make the huge difference here. So again, it's all these dials over here on the right. You can kind of fine tune it for what you think makes you more comfortable in the cockpit. But I must admit, it seems like the F-18 has the most dials and buttons and gauges to be able to fine tune this with. So very impressive indeed. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. So as always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Feel free to hit that like button. And hey, until next time, guys.